Hello, my name is Julie Bennett, and I'm in the marketing group at Water Standard. And today I am sitting here with Duane Devall, our Vice President of Sales, our global sales at Water Standard. And he also works with our subsidiary, Monarch Separators. They do our produced water. And Duane has been in the industry for quite some time, so thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks, Julie.
So, I know you've been around for many years, and one of the things I wanted to ask you is, what would you say has been the biggest change you've noticed in the produced water treatment industry?
Sure. And I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and probably the biggest change to me is that probably in the perception of water, where it's always been a waste stream, that you want to treat water to the minimum requirements and do it as cheaply as possible, where now it is such a scarce resource and it's being used in production, it's being looked more of as a value stream, right? And that disposal or overboard discharge or whatever industry we're in, I think the biggest change is the perception that water needs to be reused.
Yeah, you are so right. And there's so much of it, right? I mean,
Sure.
you read in the news almost daily about these just vast amount of water, these huge volumes of water, produced water, flowback water, basically bottlenecking the industry, especially in the Permian. I mean, I was just reading some staggering numbers, 3 million barrels of water produced every day in the Permian alone. What have you heard?
Yeah, sure. And that, again, that's the industry itself, right? And probably the biggest change has been the fracking industry, right? The hydraulic fracturing for production of oil and gas. So with these fracks and as technology has developed from vertical to horizontal wells, it's just an enormous amount of water that's used to be able to produce those hydrocarbons. So what we're seeing now is one fracking job can use anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million barrels of water itself. So that water has to come from somewhere, and it's coming from freshwater sources, it's coming from aquifers, it's coming from river streams, or even reuse of produced water. So it's a huge problem. It's only getting worse as production increases. So it's only going to be more and more water that has to be utilized for that purpose. So what we're seeing now, Julie, is it's just a strain on the entire system. On freshwater sources, there's a strain on what do you do with that water when now it's contaminated with chemicals and everything else. So what do you do? Typically it's been disposed of in saltwater disposal wells, and what we're seeing now is that there is a strain on that system. So the alternatives, and that's what we're coming up with, is what are the solutions going forward?
Yeah, so of course that's the big question of the day. What is the answer to this truly a water crisis?
Sure, and it's to me it's a multi-layered question, to be honest, right? There's a lot of different variables that go into water treatment. Permian Basin is unique in a lot of ways. Colorado and the DJ Basin is unique, has unique properties. The states themselves in some of these areas have different regulatory frameworks. Some are definitely a lot more stringent than others. But the goal going forward, and what we kind of see as sort of the fundamental shift in this business, is that as this progresses, the fact is we're going to have to start taking this water and treating it and putting it back into the water cycle. So we reuse as much as we can, but ultimately this is going to have to go to streams and rivers or for agriculture, and it's going to have to be put back into the water cycle.
Yeah, I really don't see much other option there. So do you feel that Water Standard and Monarch Separators, we are in a position to handle and help operators with this problem?
Sure, and it's really been kind of our singular focus here, right? Obviously, our passion is water treatment. It's what we've done for a long time. We've all been in this industry for quite a while. But going forward, I mean, what we've tried to focus on is first coming up with solutions to help reuse and recycle water as best we can. So from there, we've also developed other technologies in a system that, to capture sort of this fundamental shift. We know eventually it's going to require going to a river, stream, or to surface discharge. And this is, I don't think there's any way around it, right? So that has been our focus, is on green technologies. We have a biodegradable alginate flocculant that is kind of our core technology that we use for reuse applications and really kind of as a primary treatment for even surface discharge applications. So we've done pilot testing in Colorado, DJ Basin. We've done pilot testing now in the Permian Basin. Again, a lot of different variables. A lot of things are done on the fly. But, we were really happy with the success of the pilot units. And again, we're going to keep moving forward in that direction.
Yeah, it sounds like you're referring to our H2O Spectrum platform.
That's correct.
Piece. And what I think is so unique about this particular system setup is that it is a platform. Therefore, it can be tailored, correct? I mean, tell me a little bit more about that. If they want a plus system, it can be more robust for surface treatment, treatment for surface discharge, or if they want the light version, depending on what they need. Am I hitting that correctly?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, sort of, again, our focus has been, we know that right now recycling is at a premium. Again, the system is strained right now, whether it be freshwater sourcing or whether it be disposal of the contaminated water when it comes up. So right now, many companies are trying to go to as much reuse and recycle as they can. And that was sort of our initial solution and focus was on treating that. Now from there, and again, we've just finished a pilot test for this purpose, and that's what we call H2O Spectrum Light. But we know it's moving towards surface discharge. So how do we handle that? So we've included additional technologies to be able to take out different organics, different toxins, right, or to desalinate, right, to go directly to a river and pass all toxicity tests. So again, that's our focus, is to do this kind of in, if you will, modular type units that can be staged, different stages to meet either minimum recycle requirements or take it all the way to a river.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, that sounds like we're going in the right direction at least, and so I was really excited to hear more about that, and I appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts. And if anybody wants to find out more about our H2O Spectrum platform pieces, you can reach us at www.waterstandard.com or visit monarchseparators.com. But we hope to hear from you. And Duane, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Julie. Anytime.